consultants too, and big companies like URS and Tetra Tech and SAIC. And Tito's company is called what? Do you remember what it's called?
Tito's company.
Yeah, I don't even know what Tito's company is, but this
I don't know. We'll find out.
This guy named Tito is in charge of the install and the maintenance of the Barone Ranch project, and he's from Chile. And he did restoration down there, and then he ran a huge native plant nursery in Northern California for years, and then he started his own company in San Diego. He did a lot of work in the Tijuana River Valley for years and years and years, and now he's got his foot in the door up here, and I think he has a 5-year contract with the county on this Barone Ranch job. Very, very smart guy, and likes big plants. He's not a There's different theories of restoration. Some people think you just put a bunch of small plants in the ground and it'll work. And other people say, no, small plants don't work, we need big plants. Tito's a big plant guy, and we sort of agree with Tito more than we agree with these small plant people. So he likes big, well-rooted plants. And very, very sharp guy. He runs a really tight crew. And he's very flexible, which a lot of people aren't. We've got him working with somebody at the Park Service on Santa Cruz Island. There's no flexibility at all, and it's much more fun to work with people that are flexible because you get a better project.
So when somebody's flexible, you still want to make sure you give them really good quality. You know, you don't want to have to make this person be rigid. I mean,
we don't want to piss him off because there's another 5 years of work up there.
The reason he can be flexible is because we're giving him good quality. And so when Don says he's flexible, he's not flexible in accepting poor quality versus good quality. He's flexible in his plant palette. So that means
and delivery times.
And delivery times, and so in the plant palette, this is another reason for you to learn all your plants, because basically he's saying, if you give me an equivalent species, so something that's going to fill an equivalent growing niche, then he's okay with that. So if you don't have enough rows, what's equivalent? Okay, you guys got to learn your plants. You're not going to know the answer to that until you know the watering requirements, the soil requirements, the aspect, right? You gotta learn your plants before you know the answer to that.
Like berries.
Berries, big part of this one. Blackberry.
Yeah, berry could be an equivalent.
They're both kind of like acidic soil.
Yeah.
Sages.
Yeah. See, so that's where he's being flexible. And he's also being flexible in the sizes, in that he's saying, okay, I got this one spot where these well-rooted 4-inch are going to work. Okay? So we want to.
That looks like that.
Generally, Lauren, if you're doing a substitution, you want to.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You'd probably choose like 2 or 3 different plants, because then you're kind of guessing. You know, and so that's where more diversity is better. So you want to hedge your bets,
right?
Kind of, and you say, okay, well, let's try a black sage or ribes.
Black sage.
Sure. Let's try purple solanum and see what happens. You know, and you just go for more things than less.
Oh, salute.
A little longer.
These ones aren't ready yet.
Okay. Yeah.
At a certain time. Not always.
What else do you need? California Rose, 1 gallon. California Rose, 1 gallon. What is this here? Is this it? No, that's got your red berries. Okay, that's the remnants.
trees. And you guys think it's really worth it. Now Tito's doing the same thing at Barone Ranch. He's assessing everything that he's planting so that he can go back to Jody and say, you know, this was a mistake and this was that. So later on in the semester I'll talk more about integrating research into the restoration project. This is a little research project we integrated into the restoration project to basically demonstrate to the county that they were wrong and that they shouldn't waste their money again, right?
Well, there must be a better tree than oak for a south-facing slope.
Its south-facing should be low-growing coastal sage-grouse drought-tolerant plants.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Now, on the east and west slopes, where it gets only a half day of light, oak grows great. And as you'll notice when you go down there, there's a nice oak grove on a west-facing hillside. You won't see any oaks growing on the south-facing hillside. Oaks require too much water.
Unless they're in a deep canyon.
If it's
Yeah.
a super deep canyon, they'll make it, especially at the bottom by the creek.
Enough water.
Right. Oaks are heavy water users, except in the summertime when they go into a semi-dormancy.
Mm-hmm.
But that
Well, aren't
takes 3 or
there's
4
some-
years to get them established.
I had some evergreen oaks up on my place, up on Paradise Road, and there were also ones that went dormant. 2 different kinds.
Yeah. Well, the dormant one would maybe the Demosa.
I don't know.
What do you think?
They're
Which
both
one's
growing, they're
dormant
just-
up there?
There's Lobata.
I don't know.
Probably
But-
Lobata.
Low bottom. Was it growing in the bottom
Did
where
it
it's
lose
real
its
wet?
leaves?
No, well, one of them did and one didn't.
French oak for your Chardonnay.
Well, is it? We have a Lobata right.
Oak?
So you'll be able to
Yeah,
take a
over
walk
there.
through the 9
Oh, well,
acres of
yeah.
restoration that we've done so far in the last 5 or 6 years. You'll see the creek that we daylighted and restored. You'll see the interpretive signs that were part of the last grant. And I wish I could go with you, but we need to get this delivery up and back.
And so it's broken into sections, and we're starting to get more tube germination than just pin clay. Okay, and we're up to 19%. So we're still getting germination. Okay, and then we did it in November '07, and we're up to 20% germination. Okay, and so at some point this goes from, you know, we've stopped looking at germination and we're looking at survivability. So right now, you know, we're no longer expecting an acorn to germinate. What we're going to be looking for is oak trees, right? So calling it germination now is no longer correct. We're going to be looking for oak tree survivability. And then we did it in October '09. Somehow we missed '10. Sorry about that. And we had, and there are 2 pieces, and they come flat, so you have to assemble them. You know, and then you end up with this. You know, you're putting plastic in the environment. You know, so it's really something you need to.
Weigh the benefits.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure it's an end-all, but
What about those other tubes I saw up?
What about white
How
ones?
about,
Ever use those?
The cardboard one?
Plastic. Harder plastic.
I think it was like some kind of watering system.
okay, yeah, that is a watering system, and that's not a, yeah. So
ideally, like, once they're matured, but not like...
well, that's biodegradable though.
plastic is not biodegradable, though.
So you want to, like, take that out, right?
Yeah,
Sprout it,
yeah.
mature it a little
So
bit.
that's the other things. I should have brought some bags, because we could start, like, when there's nothing there, you know, if there's an oak tree there, we can leave it. If there's nothing there, we can start hauling these out as trash, I think. You know, nothing's going to happen. So,
Well, how, if it was made out of that plastic that they make out of corn starch or something, that biоdegrades?
but plastic from oil does not biodegrade. It actually just gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Smaller and smaller
Particles.
until the plankton are eating it, and then they're starving, and now we're, you know, after 30 years we're realizing that it's a problem. Yeah.
So they gotta redesign that too. The whole idea.
Yeah. So from here up, And then, so on the map here, so this is how the map goes, right? So there's some on the lower slope, and there's some on this upper slope, and we're standing on this road right here, okay? And so, for those of you who are game, I'm going to leave somebody here on the road, and we're going to go tubes, no tube, okay? And
Right, flags in by the tubes.
we want to put flags where there's an oak tree. That's it. Doesn't matter if it has a tube or no tube. Right now we're tracking oak trees. My goal is what I want to know is how many oak trees are there. Now, do we want to know? This is a smart class, so we're going to make it one more complicated. High side, low side. High side, low side. Okay, so does that make sense?
High side is above the road.
High side's above the road, low side is, because my prediction is that in the end, we're going to get a couple of oak trees actually surviving down here.
More
Do you
so than
all
up there.
actually think I mean, this mountain was built 20 years ago. This mountain wasn't here, right? So there is no groundwater under there, okay? The closest we can get to groundwater is where those walnut trees are. So my prediction is the only place that oak tree has any chance of being in 100 years is down on the bottom of this slope, right? Not here. Okay, so who wants to do the clipboard? You want to be clipboard? Okay. So you got 4 categories. We're gonna spread out and we're gonna yell at you. And we're gonna yell, "Got one!" And then we're gonna say, "It's in a tube." Or we're gonna say, "No tube." Okay? And you're gonna see that we're either on the high side or the low side, right? Okay.
How far down did you say?
It wraps all the way around.
Okay.
So the low side is just to this next, they call it a bench, but it's the next road. And the high side is up to the bridge there. So we need more people on the high side, and I will be happy to go on the high side too.
So what we,
This is the middle road, so
There's none behind us.
there's none behind us.
So where did the blue end that goes all the way around?
It wraps all the way around.
Should we just move it a certain
And then we go, and then we come back this way.
come back around this way?
Yeah. And so we want to make sure we all have some flags. I'm not going to start over here on the disturbed and say, okay, heal this big wound here. I'm going to go from the whole to the disturbed.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense? So I'm not expecting you, if you've got nothing else to do in the world and you would like to fill out every single one of these and you want to have 10 pages for each thing, more power to you. You'll be a genius. And, that would be absolutely fantastic. But Michael Reisel is, people can spend their whole lives studying that stuff.
Yeah, it just seems very interesting, but far beyond my current capacity.
So you could go, it can be as simple as you go find a plant and you dig in the soil, and if you see those little white spidery, like spider web underground hairs, that's Michael Reisel.
Okay.
So
I
you
would
could
just
say,
little white spidery hairs.
yes. And then it's like, yes,